Welcome back to Ready Egg. In today's video, we continue the step-by-step guide to rebuilding a Case IH SDX precision disc drill.
And that's how she's done.
We will be installing new closing wheel pivot kits, main opener arm slot fix kits, closing wheel pivot kits, and how to hang the rows back on the rank. Here at Ready, we want to breathe new life into your trusted air seeder, helping you invest in renewal, not replacement.
After the bushings are driven out, we'll just come through here with this pin and I'll drive this through to clean out the rest of the junk that's in the cavity. So then I'll come in here with this stainless wire brush. Check it, make sure it's pretty clean. So next, we use our install tool for bushings. It's going to look like this once it's in. We'll just go ahead and drive the first bushing in until it's flush. Slide our spacer in there. Voila, one complete bushing kit.
We are installing closing wheel pivot kits. Hammer, that's your best friend. Hammer and the proper beaters. This is my bushing beater. I will drive the bushings in with this beater, pull the beater out, and then this one has that extra collar on it. Right on the beater. And I always hold backup pressure in order to make sure that that bushing is going in straight. And there's no bounce. All the way till the beater bottoms out. Another bushing, flip it over. Make sure she's centered. Bottomed out. And we're just gonna give her a good tap until she bottoms out. Now our bushing is inside, recessed a little. One good whack. Gives us perfect amount of space to install 2 seals. And to ensure that no dust and debris can get up in that cavity and the grease stays in there, you tap that in there until she gets flush right up on that cast, and then we'll flip it over. Do the same to the other side. Just a couple of taps. Get that bushing to seat in there, and we're flush. And that's how she's done.
What I'm doing is I'm putting in this retaining plate to keep this spring bushing from coming out. If you don't put that in there, what can happen over time is as this pin is in there, like so, this bushing will walk out. And so our solution was, let's just laser cut that same plate that welds onto the pin and bolt it on as a retaining plate. Then I'm going to take one of my pins that comes in these kits and I'm going to use it as an alignment tool. So I'll put the plate on. Let it drop on there, and then slide it in the side that I want it. Now, get the bolt, put it in the plate, drop it in, get the nut, get it started. We really like and recommend a right angle tool like this. This is a 3/8 drive, M12 Milwaukee fuel. It puts on the right amount of torque. It's about 35 foot-pounds. These are grade A 3/8 bolts with flanges on them. Now I'm going to take my wrench, put my hand over here, hold the head side of the bolt. We like to put the head side on the outside so there's no clearance issues here with the thread sticking out. I'm going to hold the pin at the same time, bring my impact, let it rip. That's torqued. Now I'm going to slide the pin out. If the pin's a little sticky, what you can do is pound it a few times and it moves that plate more centered.
So he's got it up in there and not hitting here. And so it's just easy, should be able to just slide most of the way in. and I don't want to tap too hard before it gets it. Okay, he's got it. Perfect. So what'll happen is sometimes you'll start driving out the bushing in the bucket, and so you don't want to do that. But this flag that's already in here, that's pre-installed, now will help hold that bushing in and it won't drive out. But it's really easy to drive those bushings out if you catch an edge. Boom, just like that.
Love it.
The next step is to get the closing wheel arm on. That means the pivot, the arm, all that. You're gonna take this pin here and you're gonna work it in, being careful not to curl the lip of the seal. So you may have to come at it at a couple different angles, rotate it, even try the other side if that doesn't work. It helps to put a little pressure on away from you. Once you get through that, it goes pretty easily. Okay, you're gonna go flush. Then there's this felt piece that we're gonna put in here. That takes up the space, helps seal it a little bit. This side's gonna be sticking out a little bit, maybe about 1/8 of an inch. And that'll be what the washer hangs on or goes on. It's a good idea to make sure the cavity's clean. So what we usually do is blow it out. Get any debris that got in there since hanging it or during hanging of the row unit. The kit comes with a thick washer that goes over the pin like so, and also a shim in case that also takes up some of the slop that's left over. But most of the time we find that you don't need that shim. You're gonna wanna check a few of them, try it with all of them, and if it gets too tight and the arm binds up, leave that thin shim out. Then this washer is on the outside, and that's what the surface that the nuts go against. So don't forget your spring. And you'll notice these arms have been already worked on. They've got the washers pre-installed, the bolt, this is all torqued down. The only thing that remains is the dust cap. You want to try to keep that clean. But this wheel and arm is all ready to go onto the row now. This is the greasable bolt. You're going to slide that through the hole. And then you're going to bring it in like so, with the spring already in the adjustment that the farmer is wanting. Now you put on your outer washer. For good measure, we put on a dab of thread locker, keeps the grease from coming through the threads as easily. And now we're going to snug it with the mid-torque impact. And always check to make sure that his grease zerk is going in an orientation that is conducive to greasing. Hold the head of the bolt so it doesn't spin. It's very important to use a torque wrench. Right now, we've determined that 150 foot-pounds is the correct torque on this pivot. There we go. Check your pivot, make sure it rotates freely. Very important. You don't want any slop or any binding. That would be a problem and make this unit not function correctly in the field. This one was good and ready for seating. Once the arm's on, you're going to come along and install the dust cap. We like to face the Ready logo so that it's facing as if you're reading it from looking at it from the side. Nice job, Nate.